Prontos para continuar a nossa viagem? Bem, se bem se lembram, tudo começou em Agacim, uma aldeia conhecida por vender os melhores chouriços de Goa. Depois fomos até Bambolim conhecer uma cruz que dizem ser miraculosa. Goa Velha foi capital de Goa no século XII e hoje é conhecida pela procissão de Todos os Santos, e Bati, uma aldeia perdida no mapa, não fosse o milagre que a tornou famosa. 4 ilhas. Primeiro, Combajua, que antigamente era defendida não por canhões nem por fortes, mas por crocodilos. Santo Estevão, uma das mais pequeninas ilhas de Goa. Depois fomos até Divar, um importante centro de peregrinação hindu antes da chegada dos portugueses. E Chorão, conhecida pela sua bonita igreja de São Bartolomeu. Depois ainda tivemos tempo para parar em Velha Goa e revisitar alguns dos seus monumentos, e hoje vamos começar aqui por Ribandar. No século X, Ribandar era conhecida por ser um importante centro de comércio de cavalos. Por aqui passaram muitos mercadores árabes. Depois, no século XV, perdeu parte da sua importância e no século XVII, com a construção da ponte de Linhares, passa a ser uma aldeia como tantas outras. O centro da atenção está agora todo em Panjim, para onde iremos logo de seguida. A Igreja da Imaculada Conceição é de facto um marco na cidade de Panjim. Vestida de branco 365 dias ao ano, chama logo a atenção. Foi uma das primeiras igrejas a ser aqui construídas, logo depois da peste que empurrou, por assim dizer, a população da Velha Goa para esta cidade.
There were about 50,000 Catholics in old Goa, and they were taken care of in 10 churches. So suddenly it was affected by pestilence, and so they had to come this side, and they established this church. It was initially built as a chapel. Along with it, another 5 were built, and that was in 1553, and it was a chapel. So in our ecclesiastical system, a chapel is affiliated to some church, so this was affiliated to Talegaon Church, St. Michael's Church in Talegaon, in the neighborhood. And only in 1600 this was elevated to the status of the church. So it was built as a chapel initially, and later on, as much that was elevated to the thing, and also it was expanded as much the space was available here. It is on a hillock, and they expanded it, and now we cannot expand anymore. And the situation, like the steps both the sides, and sideways also, it is just a miniature of a church in Portugal, just a replica in miniature of that church. It is actually known as Igreja Matriz. Igreja Matriz is a Portuguese term. So it is the mother of other churches here in Goa. we had our own cemetery also here. But then the Portuguese government thought of having a link road this side, what should I say, if you face this, the right side. And so they cut the hillock. If you see that side, the courts are now the same level of the church. But in between there is a road. So this hillock has been cut. And in Portuguese it is known as oiteiro. The name hillock in Portuguese is oiteiro. So this area is known as Corte de Oiteiro, that hillock has been cut.
It is more than 100 years. It was handed over to Mr. Suleiman Jani. He is, I think, he was the head of that. So it was handed over to me, and the name of registration, everything was in his name, Suleiman. After his death, he gave to his son. That followed. In 1973, when Mr. Nur Muhammad Budaset, the grandson of Mr. Jani, Suleiman Jani, he handed over to our Jamaat in 1973. So from 73 onwards, we are running this. Portuguese constitution is there for our this institution here. So there are 18 families of Goa. They are in this constitution. So from among 18 people only they can vote and bring for the election, like that. Founder members.
A percentagem de população muçulmana em Goa era 2%, enquanto agora é 8%. Isto devido à imigração dos muçulmanos dos estados vizinhos, para efeitos de negócios. E como as fronteiras ficaram abertas, sem restrições, toda a gente vem aqui. E é um centro turístico e também tem muitas oportunidades para negócios. Então, dos portugueses, os negociantes eram menos, mas hoje há vários. O nosso presidente tem o seu Neptune Hotel Deluxe, Neptune Deluxe no mercado, onde é que a maioria dos estabelecimentos são dos muçulmanos. E mesmo ele tem um hotel. E também há outros negociantes que também têm um hotel no Palácio de Goa e têm negócios de electricity appliances, equipamento elétrico. Aqui, perto do Cine Nacional, a Sun Company. A população, se for ver, mais é Salcedo, Margão, Mormugão, Pondá e uma pequena população é Valpoi e Sangué. E como isso, sendo isto capital, cidade capital, toda a gente vem para aqui para trabalho. E dali, note-se que aqui há muitos muçulmanos. Aliás, há negociantes pequenos que são residentes aqui permanentemente. E outra população que movimenta diariamente. Margão é centro de comércio. Vasco está ligado a caminho férreo. E muita mercadoria vem diretamente do caminho de ferro para Margão, Vasco. E como tal, ali também há a conglomeração dos negociantes.
E em Pondá?
E em Pondá, basicamente, porque Antigamente já pertencia uma grande área para os muçulmanos. No tempo de, quando era Adil Khan, Adil Shah. E mesmo este palácio, aquele antigo secretariado aqui, aquilo era uma residência de Adil Khan.
For Muslims, we have a Eid, Ramzan Eid, Eid ul Fitr, and Bakra Eid, Eid ul Zuha it is called. And Milad al-Nabi, there is a birth anniversary of our Prophet Muhammad. So we celebrate all these three things. And especially on Eid day, these places is not enough. So we take a permission from the government sports authority at Kampal. So about 10,000 people pray there in one namaz, this shift.
Na mesma rua que nos leva da Igreja Matriz à Mesquita, há ainda um templo. Coincidência ou não, é uma pergunta que fica por responder.
2nd July 1818 was the date when the Portuguese governor, Viceroy, gave the permission to construct the temple. And on 10th of July, the temple was formed and it was brought here. In transit period, it was at Mamai Kamath's family's house, opposite to old Sachivalaya, Palace Dadil Khan. Behind that, Mamai Kamath family is there. And it was there for some time when it came from Maya to Panjim. And from there, it was shifted to this one for the good of the temple. So this temple was constructed in 1818, precisely on the 10th of July. Earlier, this was in place called Taigaon, which was shifted to Maye, which is in Bicholi Taluka, during the time of conversion. And this was again brought to this town in 1818, and subsequently the mandap, this is mandap which you can see here, has been constructed in 1870 by the Depot family. The Soiru Sinai Depot constructed this in 1870. There are 14 different families, in the sense Saraswat Brahmans are there, Nabiks are there, communities it is. If you take it in that perception, it is 13 families, 13 communities, which are the members of this temple, and all they come together and perform the festivities. Some festivities are allotted to different communities. Some are Nabiks who are Nabiks is a Barbar community. Some are Saraswat communities. This Depot family is one of the major chunk of this temple who perform the maximum festivities in this temple.
Há três grandes famílias que constituem como que o trio da indústria mineira. A família Dempó, a família Salgancar e os Chogulês. Mas a família Dempó não está apenas ligada a esta atividade. A primeira escola secundária, 11º e 12º, depois de 1961, o Dempó College of Arts, foi fundado por esta família. O primeiro diário em inglês, o Navin Times, foi outra vez obra desta família. E a lista não acaba aqui. Todos os membros do Dempó Family estão envolvidos numa qualquer atividade. Perguntei a Mohan, um dos membros do Dempó Family, para me dar-nos uma ideia das várias atividades em que estão envolvidos.
I myself is involved only property business at this stage. Rupa is just now Srinivas Temple. After that is mining was there, which is of course there Sezago was there taken. Then dailies are there. Then food product, milk products is there. Goa Carbon is there. Goa Carbon Limited. Kasa and Coke they are manufacturing. Then shipbuilding is there. Shipbuilding also is there. Like that. Hindustan food that makes that food, that is there. So these are the main things. Our forefathers were also Yamales. Yamales means you know that Depudad. Deputado we call it Portuguese. Now MLAs, ministry is there, no, MLAs, this thing. So there was always contact in this thing. And that time transparency was the, means because of governors, they used to come even for the functions. Some even on my, when I was born on say on 12th day when birth, you see, birthday, this thing, governors used to, they had come to that Santa Cruz, like that. So much relations were there with all the Portuguese. On when any Portuguese VIP, so minister from there used to come to Goa, we used to also give parties and this thing to them and this. So few families had very close relations with the Portuguese citizens. Even Vasant's second son, Surendra Dempo, he stays in Bombay. He was the consul for Portuguese consul, no, honorary. Now they have started in Goa. Till then, after revolution, he was the consul for the Portuguese.
Mesmo oposto à Casa de Empó, fica o estabelecimento comercial Sousa e Paulo. Foi fundado em 1884 e é o local ideal para quem gosta de fotografias. Célia Sousa, que é a atual gerente deste estabelecimento, ainda se lembra quando tudo era a preto e branco.
They had a dark room where they used to process the negatives, and that was all black and white first. And it was not a normal film, it was a big, it was 4 by 6 or 6 by 4 negatives, with individual negatives, and they could enlarge to whatever size you want, and very clear and beautiful. And the photos and the negatives were superior quality, mainly from Germany, at least where we Sozopol people had taken from Germany. And that time Germans were the topmost in the world in those days, in the Portuguese days. So they used to get all their equipment from Germany. Panjab was a really well kept city, clean, tidy, and where etiquettes and discipline were there, it was there, topmost. So there must have been not too much educated like the modern people are, but the older people had a sense of respect and sort of cleanliness. That much I definitely remember very well. Only now my son is modernized to whatever, he has roamed. He has roamed. My poor husband didn't roam except to Bombay and Goa. My son, he roamed the whole world over, so he saw the new technology. And we have got the old emblem here, our Portuguese emblem.
O único bairro de Panjim que parece se ter congelado no tempo é o bairro das Fontainhas, um lugar que se aproxima de certa forma das memórias de Célia Sousa.
Kampal is today one of the most amazing spots of Pancham. It's a spot which the whole world would like to be part of. But my first experiences in Kampal in 1969 was, it was the back of beyond area of Pancham. It was a spot which no one wanted to come to. Even in my own house, my house, one of the biggest houses in Kampal, is 33-meter veranda. I personally used to get scared to come to this side of the spot, because you could have possibly some wild animals. You could have people coming and beggars coming and sleeping here. There was no adequate lights here at that point of time. So it was scary. There were dogs all over the place. So I myself would find it difficult to come this side of the home, which is just 30 meters away, because of this type of fears. Things have changed. Things have changed hugely. Kampal has got a huge boost, and it's amazing that even though we are just a few meters away from the commercial block of Pancham, that it still remains as it is. And a lot of it is because of the fact that we have had very good families here, very eminent families. We've had Jack Sequeira, who is known as virtually the father of Goa unofficially. We have had the family of Emida Afonso, which is again an eminent family, of the Figueiredos, who was the first dean of the Goa Medical College. I think my family is one of the smallest families of Kampal. And we feel proud that we are in this particular zone, that we can do so much. And maybe a little late, we have done a lot in terms of jazz today. And more than anything else, I think it's the families who just have kept all this. Heritage jazz is a passion actually, which started off trying to unite two of the most important elements of Goan life, which is music and the home. So in one program, we managed to fuse that, the real pulse of Goa, into one program, which is Heritage Jazz. So Heritage Jazz is really organizing events in heritage homes. Now, as we have gone bigger, we are taking the shows elsewhere as well. But the real core of Heritage Jazz is organizing music events in the home, thus uniting two of Goa's most important elements. I think Kampal is a great place. It can be a spot. I liken Kampal to the south of France. You know, we want to go to Nice, we want to go to Cannes. And personally, I believe that Kampal has got even more than that. It's got style, it's got the riverfront, it's got heritage, it's got beautifully tree-lined streets which run across the whole of Pancham. And I use that on Twitter very often. Kampal is the south of France, the south of France. Or in other words, it could be a situation where Nice would say that Kampal is what they look forward to, you know. So that's my feeling for Kampal. I'm a very proud Goan, I'm a very proud Kampalite, and I think Goa is a diamond not only on India's crown, I think it's the crown itself.
Deixamos Kampal para trás e prosseguimos viagem até Miramar, antes uma região fortificada.
There was a fort at Miramar beach, and that beach was called as Praia Gaspardias. So how did that name turn from Gaspardias to Miramar beach? Now there was a small hotel started by the Roncon family and Mr. Fernandez, Remo's father, where the present Yatri Niwas is. And the credit for the name Miramar to this particular beach has to be given to the bus conductors of the local buses. Now what they would do is, when the bus was leaving Panjim, they would say near Hotel Miramar, and over a period of time they started saying Miramar, Miramar, Miramar. So the whole name of that place became Miramar because of that one small hotel that was there.
Acreditem ou não, Panjim chegou a ser um bairro desta aldeia de Taligão. Taligão então era uma aldeia próspera que se dedicava principalmente à agricultura. Diz-se também que Afonso de Albuquerque chegou a honrar a sua população por ter alimentado as tropas portuguesas numa das suas inúmeras batalhas contra Adil Shah. Hoje, da agricultura, pouco resta e aos poucos Taligão está-se a transformar numa grande cidade. Mas o seu marco continua a ser o mesmo, a Igreja de São Miguel.
caminho para Dona Pala, paramos no Goa Science Center em Caranzalé. Há 28 centros como este em toda a Índia e Goa é um deles. Uma das maiores atrações é o Parque Pré-Histórico. Lá dentro, as atrações são outras, como me apercebi ao seguir os visitantes. Dona Pala é a nossa última paragem. Conhecida pela lenda de um amor não correspondido, hoje encontra-se imortalizado pela estátua dos dois amantes.
E pronto, chegamos ao fim de mais um episódio. Espero que tenham gostado desta viagem pelo concelho taluka de Tiswadi. Como viram, Tiswadi foi o berço de 3 das capitais deste estado: Goa Velha, Velha Goa e a atual Panjim. Aldeias, cidades, confusão, barulho, mas também paz e sossego. Tiswadi tem de tudo. No próximo episódio, uma nova taluka. Portanto, não se esqueça, junte-se a nós daqui a 15 dias para mais um Contacto Goa.